You are beating a dead freaking horse at this point. Are you aware of that? Like, there's no reviving this. There's no bringing it back to life. Like, you are beating a dead horse. Okay, the job is gone. That version of you is gone. The version of you that you are trying to hold on to so viciously is gone. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. Let's take a moment of silence for it. And it's gone. I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just saying, like, you are beating a dead horse at this point. Why do you keep trying to, like, pick that job back up? Why do you keep trying to, like, hold on to that version of your relationship as if that's like how it's supposed to stay forever? Like, here's the thing. Change is inevitable. Okay? And you want change, right? Because otherwise you're committing yourself to stagnation. Change is a part of the process. And yes, it's uncomfortable. And yes, you would prefer the devil you know versus the devil you don't know. I get it. I know your preferences. I understand. I just want you to know you're beating a dead horse now, eh? Huh? You are beating a dead horse. For some of you guys, this is a relationship, bro. Like, you keep trying to keep this version of what a relationship is supposed to be in your mind together and holding on to it for dear fucking life. And it's done. Like, for some of you guys, this is a job. You keep trying to, like, get back into the same field, do a lot of the same things, go back to a lot of the old hobbies and habits. And for some of you guys, this may look like I'll give you an example. I'll use myself as an example, right? My first spiritual awakening, I went through this phase of nostalgia where everything about me was changing and being jushed up to the surface. And simultaneously, because of that, it was like I wanted some sense of home. And so I kept trying to recreate the old dynamics of what I remember home to look like. So I used to drive around all of my old neighborhoods. I used to hit up all of the people I used to be friends with in high school. I used to, like, try to get into these trauma bond conversations with the people I used to be cool with back in the day, that used to be my friend, that used to make me feel a certain type of way. So I would try to reconnect with these people. I would try to hang out with these people, and it would immediately show me why. Okay? That part of me is gone. Okay? Because it's an illusion. Right? It's understandable because I was going through my version of my first spiritual awakening. So it's natural to want to cling on to what's familiar and want to go back to it because everything is changing. And when everything is changing so quickly, it makes sense to want to cling on to what you know. It makes sense to want to go back to the job because essentially you would have to face the reality that that door is closed, and now I have to move forward into something new. I have to commit to this. I have to move forward. The reality of understanding that you have to move forward now is making you nostalgic. And it's okay. It's understandable. But you are beating a dead horse. That door is closed, which is why you can probably notice when you try to go back to these jobs, you can feel it almost immediately that this is no longer for you because the people that used to work there no longer work there. The sense of comfort that you had no longer is there. Your ability to stomach the toxicity and the bull is no longer there because you went through this season of purging and isolating and realizing what toxicity even means and what no longer aligns to you. So you trying to step back into these old flames, old habits, old routines, like, you're beating a dead horse, honey. This thing is dead. It was cool, right? When you were teetering with it, right? Where it was still a bit of a hope that it's still alive and it could possibly come back around. And it made it exciting. It made it feel like you had a sense of security. Because God forbid, whatever you actually want doesn't work out, you still have this, right? You are beating a dead horse. So at this point, it's like, that channel message came to me and it stuck with me for the past several days. Like, I just keep hearing that now. It's like, you're beating a dead horse. And to be honest with you, it came to me at a moment of reflection in my own life where I'm like, okay, it's time for me to stand back on my feet. It's time for me to figure out what I'm going to do about income. What am I going to do about job? Blah, 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 blah. And if I'm honest, there's a real part of me that's like, okay, let me just go back to this. Let me just do this. Let me just do that. And let me just do. But the moment that I slowed down, and I mean slowed down, and got honest to myself and said, self, what are we really gonna do? The moment I was able to slow down long enough to be honest about my options that are laid out on the table, my usual go-to is no longer an option. Because I've changed so much. I've grown too much. I know too much. I've healed too much to act like I don't. To act like I can still stomach these old jobs or stomach these old types of connections and relationships. And see, it's funny. It's funny, right? Because I used to have this fear. And if I'm honest with you, I got a bit jaded with life because I felt like no matter what I did, no matter where I go, no matter how hard I try, every time I stand up, I'm just going to recreate the same bullshit. I'm just going to recreate the same relationships. It doesn't matter. Why try love again? Why try starting my business again? Why commit to anything again if I'm just going to recreate it and be disappointed? Right? It's easier to either not try at all or go back to what you know. And I'm saying this out loud and using myself as an example because I want you to hear what your inner thoughts are saying. I am just a projection of what it is that you are doing. So if you listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth, you'll understand and hear it back. Hear what you're saying reflected back to you. These are the things, these are the unconscious fears that are roaming around in your mind. And these are the reasons why you keep thinking that the only way forward is to go back. That's not the case. If you really listen to the words I'm saying, almost everything that came out of my mouth was rooted in fear. It's okay to be afraid. Which is why, for some of you guys, you're running around at 1,000 miles per hour trying your hardest to not be still long enough to realize the truth. Oh yeah, y'all all of a sudden now have everything to do now. I can't lay down. I can't do this. I can't. I have too much to do. You're distracting yourself from realizing that this is over. That job is over. That season of your life is over. You are beating a dead horse at this point. Leave the horse alone. And take some time now because you have the option to see what's in front of you. And to be honest with you, that's the only choice that's on the table now. If you'd like guidance on it, you can contact and DM me for a personal reading. But honey, leave this alone.